One of the most painful feelings in life is feeling like nobody really wants to be close to you and you have no idea why. You're a nice person. You mean well, you help out, you're never rude, and still people just don't seem to like you. Now, this feeling, it was the bane of my existence for years. I was banging my head against a wall, wondering what was wrong with me. Like, why does it seem so easy for everyone else while I'm just like a repellent for closeness? And then I discovered what was actually happening beneath the surface. And it completely changed the way that people responded to me. I found myself having long, fun conversations with people who liked me for me. And the world felt like it had color again. And after working with hundreds of people who felt the exact same way, I can tell you, it is never about being weird or unlikable. It's about a hidden childhood wound that you experienced but you never addressed. And it's making you invisible to everyone. And once you treat this wound, everything changes. And today I'll show you exactly what this wound is so you can finally be truly seen and valued by people around you. So let me show you how this wound forms, okay? Now I want you to imagine two kids, and each from a different family. Both love comic books. The first parent's kids don't really care or notice. He has to beg for money to buy comic books. He reads alone in his room. His parents scold him, taking away his comics until his homework is done, telling him that he's obsessed with cartoons. Now the second kid's parents ask about his comics over dinner. They go comic book shopping with him, ask about his favorite characters and storylines, telling him how observant he is about the details of the stories. Now eventually, both kids start writing their own stories. The first kid, he writes alone, never really shares them. He does post them online, but then deletes it whenever he gets a mean comment. Then the second kid, his parents encourage writing classes. They read his work, he joins the school writing club, he posts regularly online, and when he gets a mean comment, he tells his family, and his parents tell him, okay, you just gotta ignore it, and helps him reframe it as people who are just simply unhappy with themselves. Now, for the first kid, life looks gray. People feel mean and scary. He's afraid he'll say something that gets him insulted. He struggles to connect with people. He tries to make friends, but doesn't really know what to talk about. But for the second kid, life feels exciting. He's got friends to share his interests with. He feels like he's found his tribe. And he isn't really bothered when people don't get him, you know? The point is, your parents teach you how to like yourself. And that dictates how you show up in the world. But how does this explain why it feels like nobody likes you? Now I want you to think about the second kid. Because his parents show interest in his love for comic books and writing, he excitedly shares this part of himself with wherever he goes, right? He's learning that the people he loves are interested in his interests. He gets proof that people can like him for him. So when he interacts with other people, he excitedly shares that side of him. The first kid, on the other hand, his parents don't show him that his interests are interesting. In fact, they make him feel like he should be embarrassed about it. So he learns that the people that he loves don't really seem to like him unless he gets a good grade, he studies hard, do whatever that they tell him to do. He's obedient. So whenever he interacts with people, he's ashamed of who he is. Who's gonna like someone who's into cartoons, right? So he doesn't share his interests. In fact, he's always in his head, worried that he's unlikable, because he's got proof that his parents love him, but they don't really seem to like him. And by that I mean, they provide for him food, shelter, they worry about his well-being, but they don't really seem to like who he is, his interests, his thoughts, his perspectives. So when you grow up with parents that never showed you how to like yourself, you don't really know how to show up to others. But even worse, when your parents seem to dislike you, you'll work hard to be nice and kind and helpful, almost as an apology for being you. You're going to try to win people's friendship because you think that being liked is something to be earned. And the longer you do this, the more of yourself that you start to forget. Because those quirks, those hobbies, those interests, those perspectives that you have, when they don't get the airtime, like they don't get expressed, you will slowly stop doing them. You'll even start talking yourself out of it. I know that from personal experience. So you lose that fun, meaningful side of you. And here's the thing, really good, close friendships, they thrive on quirks and interests and even shared pain and loss. And being kind and helpful and nice lies on top of that. But if you only show up as kind and helpful without really showing or even knowing the parts of you that make you, you'll find that you have lots of surface friendships that sort of fade away after a while. Because great friendships aren't created on niceness. It's created by both people finding unique parts of themselves in the other person. And what does that look like? Let me give you a personal example. After I healed this wound, I learned that my closest relationships love me for my dark, dry humor, which I think if most people hear, they will just be really offended or just shocked. They love how I ask tons of unfiltered questions while equally sharing personal experience about myself. How I always speak my mind, and if I think they're being unhealthy or have a blind spot, I will let them know. And they feel comfortable to do the same with me. You see, for years, I kept those parts of me hidden until I realized that those were the exact parts that were home to the right people. And my friends still today, they tell me, whenever we're together, I feel so comfortable because we talk about so many things that I can't really talk about with anybody else. The point I'm trying to make here is that you have your own set of quirks and qualities that are dying to be seen by the world, that will make the right people out there feel a lot less alone. But the question is, how do you identify those unique, lovable qualities about yourself, and how do you even know if the person in front of you will be receptive to them? Here's the thing, it isn't as simple as telling yourself, I just need to like myself more. I just need to be more myself. Because the wound that your parents left behind acts like a filter, blocking you from even seeing who you really are. And to change that, you need to uncover the exact messages that you picked up from them. The little narratives that told you that you're unlikable, you're too much, you're too sensitive, you're not enough. And once you find those, you can finally show your subconscious that it's safe to let go. And only then can you start to rediscover yourself. What do you actually enjoy? What lights you up? What makes you feel alive? And when that happens, you stop being stuck in your own head, and whenever you're around people, you actually start to notice them. And that's when connections start to flow effortlessly. Now, this is the exact work that I do with my clients. Together, we'll dismantle the subconscious wounds that have you convinced that you are unlikable. We trace the family patterns that shape you, the specific childhood memories that still weigh down on you, and even the relationships in your life today that keep reopening those wounds without you realizing it. When your subconscious finally feels seen and understood, it relaxes and the real change begins. And from there, I help you see yourself clearly, your natural gifts, your unique perspectives, the exact qualities that make you feel like home to the right people. And then I show you how to read others, to recognize who's really open to your real self and how to connect in a way that feels natural instead of forced. Because you don't need more surface level friendships. You need the kind of relationships where you can finally breathe, where you feel loved, not for being nice or helpful, but for being fully you. So if you're ready to stop feeling invisible and start building the connections that bring back color to your life, you can click the link in the description and book a call with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will talk to you soon.